Well, here we are, another morning, rolling down the road. Been lining up work like usual for this time of year. The problem I have is I can't get to everybody. You know, you can like, oh, well, you can hire a whole bunch more people, but the problem gets to be the people in my trade want to deal with the person. It's a cult of personality. Your reputation is you get, when you get on job, you stay on job until you finish it, and you do what that customer wants. That's what you're doing. You're doing what that customer wants. The problem when you hire other people is they have other motives for being there. Their reason for being there is, most of them, you know, when I say most of them, above 90%, they're there for the money. They're there to make money. If you're not around them, they may not work as hard, nor do as good a quality. And eventually it gets to be, when do I get to go home? Somebody left a piece of tire in the road. So you end up with people that are looking for a reason to do poor work and then go home. So that way they can go home. But when I worked construction, your check might have been a week back. These guys would miss days or go home early because they had an opportunity. They just went home early. So then whenever their check showed up, they're like, why is my check so small? I thought it was going to be more, because they had forgotten all the time they had taken off. But that's neither here nor there. A lot of guys, just what they're getting as a reward in their mind is to be able to go home and not work. So work is torture and not work is fun. Play games, watch TV, drink, smoke weed, all those things and more. There's a lot of different illicit drugs out there. But what it is, those people, and I'm wandering around, so it's not on any kind of script, but those people don't realize that they only have so much time, period. I mean, they're only going to live so long. And they're like, oh, well, then that's the reason that I should enjoy my life and not work so hard all the time. The reality is, you know, you damage your body enough times, it doesn't fix itself. I mean, I have broke all my fingers at least once. And that was before I was 19. You know, playing games, playing football with the guys, all those things that you do when you're young and foolish. You know, I probably have broken my finger one time since I was 21. I broke a foot one time. No, two times. Just don't get a whole lot of broken bones, even though I've fallen off of ropes and all those things. You know, they're jacking up houses, moving mobile homes, climbing ladders way up. 30, 40-foot ladder I have. But your body is wearing out, and I feel it. So I know that if you wear out all your organs, your lungs, your liver, your kidney, that it's eventually going to come down to, in your mind, how much pain do I want to take before I just say I quit. Going to work is a way for you to, well, if you just want to boil it down to, just make some money. Okay, let's just stay on that. If that's what you're working for, then how you spend it is even more important. So whenever you go to all this trouble to just not like your job, but you go to it anyway, why wouldn't you spend your money in a very, very smart way? Not waste it, like an ice cream sandwich or something, you know? Why would you do that? Why would you buy frivolous things when you know you only have so much time? Why wouldn't you lock it in to make your life a bit more secure? Pick your car up so it doesn't break down. Get a better car, truck, tools. I'm self-employed, so it's still different. You know, you have motives. You're gonna buy the tools because you want to stay in business. You want to be able to do more things. But I'm just saying, a regular working guy, he's gonna want to do without. So, is it really you just don't like your job, or is it you just want to spoil yourself? If you spoil yourself, you understand that even mentally, you're allowing habits to form in your head that don't allow for longevity, because you have spoiled yourself. You have done what effectively, mentally, what a lazy person would do. Instead of being determined to get things done and be proper with your money so that you can be conscious of everything and not waste. You need to be kind to people, but let's say if you decide not to be, but just spend your money properly. You don't spoil yourself. If you spoil yourself, you're the same as a person who did nothing. If you spoil yourself mentally, you're the same as that person who didn't have any exercise at all, no muscles, no nothing, no experience. didn't do anything, doesn't have any history of doing anything. And then whenever you have to do something, you can't lift up that refrigerator, and you mentally don't have enough discipline to do what has to be done mentally, because you're used to spoiling yourself. I see it all the time. You'll say, this person, hey, I know I've got to pay my rent, but I think I want to spend my money on something else, and we're not going to have all the money to pay rent. And literally, I'm somebody who has rent. I've seen it. I've seen the result on this side, where they collect rent and they're not going to be able to pay. But they went and bought a brand new TV because they could just barely afford it, and they're going to have to take some of their rent money to pay for it. See, those are discipline. That's mental discipline. Understanding that because you're being selfish, you're damaging yourself in another way. Now you're going to pay a penalty of some sort. I don't know, not with me, but you're damaging a relationship with the guy who's renting to you. Maybe it's a corporation. They keep track of all the things that you've done, and you have a history of not paying, not doing what you say you're going to do. And in your own mind, if nobody else sees it, in your own mind, you're not what you could be. Literally are not. You're not doing what you set out to do, which was to pay your rent and do other things, but you feel good because you bought that nice TV. What's wild is, for me, this reaching for this nice thing and then not taking care of your responsibility, which is pay rent, pay your bills, that reaching for that nice thing is wild, because before the VCR, it was all about buying the nicest TV with a big clicker remote, and there was no internet, so the TV came out, there would be another TV. Then the VCR came out, and there was a better VCR, and it was cheaper. The VCRs came out, and it was $1,500. Only the rich people were buying them. And then when the DVD player came out, it was the DVD burner. I remember when it came out, it was $1,500 for that thing. And the DVD disc to burn DVDs on was $15, so you could record onto it. And they got cheap. So you're stretching out, and you're buying these fancy things. TVs now. You can get a huge TV for $450. Well, that same huge TV was thousands of dollars just not too long ago. So you're stretching out to buy all these things new, and they just keep coming out with a newer one that does more and for less money. So what does that actually tell you? If you had just kept your money and not be impulsive, you would have actually been able to get something better for less money. And we're not even talking about used, which, that's what I do. And because I don't go shopping for it, things just fall into my lap. I'm good with the TV that I have. I have a 50-inch TV, and my wife doesn't have fantastic eyesight, so she wears glasses. What do I need a 70-inch TV? It's great. I can get. Do you understand how foolish this is when you come from when there were no TVs that were not antenna? So now we're all dependent on having the best TV, the latest TV, the latest phone. Do you understand the slavery that you're putting yourself in? That's your own mind telling you to do those things. And that's your own lack of discipline that takes from things that would make your life better to spend it on frivolous things. And that is the mental discipline I'm talking about. So you just go to work for money, and then you just blow your money, or you spend your money on terrible ideas. Why? No wonder you hate your job. Don't like your work. I know men who are digging ditches, and it's a hot day and muscles hurt. They're not going to be able to do that at 60-something years old because it's hardcore work. Hopefully they won't. Anyway, I've seen it. Doesn't happen often. Usually their body gives out and their mind says, I just can't do it. They quit. But they're doing it, and they're happy people. I've met them. It's not like I'm saying, hey, there's probably somebody out there. They're happy people, hard workers and happy people. You understand that purchase did not make you happy. It is the journey, the liking of yourself and your own discipline. Go to work. I mean, if you're sick, I understand you don't want to get other people sick. Maybe that's a good idea. But if you just don't feel good, I promise you, there's a ton of days that you're just not going to feel good, that you probably should go ahead and go to work. Go ahead and go through it. I say this because I have said it before. While working with people, and so they could all understand, they're a captive audience. They have to listen to me. They can try to put headphones on, I'll call them out on it, but they're going to hear what I have to say. And so these guys that work for me, they know how I feel about it, but they'll still miss, and they'll still blow their money, and they'll still need to borrow money. They'll still need to pawn things. They'll still need to sell things for a way cheaper price because they got themselves in a pinch. I got somebody young right now They're going to buy a car because they're desperate to get a car, and it overheats. They don't want to save money to hold on to get a better car. That car overheats, and they're going to purchase this car. They don't have enough money to pay for a wrecker to move it. Came to me to want to, if I would help them move it. I was like, oh, maybe you should just save your money a little longer. You don't need the car. You can get by without the car, especially this day and age. This day and age, you can have your groceries delivered to your doorstep. You could be working online and she's walking to work. It's like less than a mile. They don't need a car. They just want a car. So they're going to buy a car that overheats. They cannot pay for the transport, which means they don't have enough money for insurance. You see what I'm saying? So they're going to get a car that needs work. They don't have enough money for insurance. They're going to drive it without the insurance, without the tags, without paying taxes on it, or whatever taxes they owe, a car they should be waiting on, and they're not going to be able to pay their rent the following week because of it. If it was just one story, this is a one-time thing, I wouldn't even mention it. But I'm telling you, I've seen this so much all through my life. I have seen it over and over. I work with the guys. I've been in, when I was young, would be in a crew cab truck with 6 guys in the truck, and everybody talking about their bills and their problems. Believe me, at construction, you go to break at lunch, and they're talking about their problems. And literally, the solution to their problems is in the conversation. They're not going to, no, they're not going to do that. No, I'm not giving up my beer. No, I'm not giving up my cigarettes. No, I'm not giving up my rentals of movies back in the day, remember? No, I'm not giving up my Netflix. No, I'm not giving up. I'm paying that. I'm going to eat well. I'm going out this weekend. We're going to go to the movies. I'm going to go to that park. I'm going to go to that concert. You know, I'm spending that money. Believe me, I've seen it, man. They walk up to my door and say, look, we're going to be $150 short on rent. I don't know where we're going to get it. But we're short, and can you work with us? Because we don't have any extra money. Can't do without that addiction, which is killing them. It's going to make their life miserable, even if they live longer than they should. And it's just money gone. And then you look at these people that can't pay rent and can't go to work because they're too big. That means they spent too much money on things, you know? I have a guy working for me, so I've known him for a long, long time, and I've always reached out to help him and all this, but he's like 375 pounds. So look, if you're going to stay working for me, you've got to lose weight. I can't have you weighing this much. 6 months later, still weighs 375 pounds. He says, I don't know what's going on. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So listen to me. That scale does not lie. It will not lie. It will tell the truth. It can be broken, but it's going to tell on you. You can say whatever you want to, but you're still the same size. Now he's not working for me. It's a shame. I'd rather him be working for me. I'd rather him be, dropped all that, weight. When I'm telling him that, hey, you're supposed to, with your height as a male, you're supposed to weigh somewhere between 120 to 150 pounds. He said, I haven't weighed that since I was 12 years old. That's just neither here nor there. That's what you should be weighing. Because you've had bad habits, that does not mean that you shouldn't weigh. So now that person cannot work for me. Just cannot. Scared to be on ladders because look at all that weight. It's spooky to be on a ladder anyway. What do you think it's like with somebody, you're literally carrying somebody overweight on you, your structure. Yeah, your knees, your hips, your ankles are all wearing out. That's all discipline. You need to stop eating those things that are killing you. They're grinding through you and giving you all kinds of problems. You know that. It's amazing to me. All the answers that people need are on your phone now. It's not like you have to look it up and go to the library. Back when I was a kid, you didn't know where to go. Nobody gave you. If you want an expert at exercise or weight loss, tons of them on the internet. And yet, they come over and say, hey, what do I do about this? I can tell you, this is one of the issues that I'm dealing with. And this is a mental discipline thing, like I started having a little bit of problem with my heel, and it come to find out some kind of thing related to plantar fasciitis. So I thought, well, that's an old person thing, and it kind of hurt my dignity, but Evidently not, because I know a 26-year-old with it, but he's way overweight. And I know a 40-something-year-old with it, and they're not terribly overweight. They're just not as active as they were. Guess what it is? Your calf muscles are not working as good as they should. They're not up to par. So I was like, okay, now to understand that, I am going to take every extra step up a ladder that I can take. I will go down and get that. I will do this and get that. Because what it is the muscles in my calf are causing me to hurt. I don't want that. So like I told my wife, hey, why don't we order me a jump rope and make it a lighted one, since they make those now. LED lighted jump rope. Order me one. So a month and a half later, I still haven't got a jump rope. Although they sent it from Georgia to New York, the USPS. How do you like that organization? From Georgia, it went from wherever it was manufactured to Georgia, and then it went up to, now it's in New York. Anyway, the first two that we ordered, they just never sent them. 2 weeks went by for each one, never sent it. The third we ordered, it was sent. Oh, by the way, they said they wouldn't be able to give us the money back unless we sent it back to them. Never sent it. It's sitting there. She had to throw a fuss to get the money back. Now, when it comes to the third one, it got stolen in the post office. It was kind of a joke this morning. I was like, hey, 6 weeks later, where's the jump rope at now? So, it went from, looks like USPS is sent it from Georgia to New York. But anyway, I'm trying to get a jump rope so I can jump rope and strengthen my calf. Yeah, there's all kinds of little exercises that they give you. Say you're an old person, you're like, hey, do this and stand on a tennis ball or stand on the edge of a staircase and lean down. I do more than that every day, climbing ladders and up and down stairs and all that stuff. I do a lot more than that. I'm not at what I used to be, so I need to bring it up. So I want a lighted, since there's that choice, jump rope, so that I can jump at night, because in the wintertime, the time changes, and a lot of times I'm up before dark. Before daylight. A lighted jump rope, I can see it, and I'm gonna, get myself more fit, breathing, whole thing more fit. So discipline, it's mental discipline. You have to want to do it. You have to do the things you need to do. So I'm going to have to pull over here. I got something wrapped around. Anyway, you have to do the things you need to do. Go to work when you don't feel like it. Stay at work and do the right thing when you're at work. It's mental discipline. Doing the things you don't want to do, because they're the right thing to do, you're going to live longer. I promise you, it's part, they're literally finding that out. It's the anterior cingulate cortex part of your brain that gets larger when you do those things. And anybody that lives a long time has got a larger part of that brain, of their brain. Just a thought. I'm running on. I got to pull over. So I got stuff flying off of the back of the truck. So it's hanging on, but I got to pull over. See you guys.